I think most traders can agree with me that it has been a pretty rough week trading. We have been dealing with chop and slop and crap and breakouts that lead to nowhere. I mean, it's just been a rough week to say the least. Um, to close out the week, I took one trade today, Friday, and one trade at the end of the day yesterday that I held overnight. Those two trades cleared the path for me. uh, fixed my week. So I will start with showing where I took my first trade, how I came to that conclusion. All right, yesterday, a little bit before market close, I actually took a short right near the highs of the day yesterday. Just bought some puts because price had just been stalling out, not able to get higher out of this area for a long time during the day. And you could see that it was getting caught up from Wednesdays and Tuesdays price action. Didn't look like it was going to go higher. We had already started an hourly downtrend, and I just saw a really good possibility for a possible gap down last night and didn't see a lot of risk buying at the high of the day. I could already tell we were near the high end of the day. It wasn't long before close. So, I mean, I just didn't feel like I was the only risk I was taking was if we would have gapped up. And I just, given the circumstances, I considered that really unlikely. It worked out for me. Opened up with a huge gap down and got like 350% return on those puts. All right, so we'll move into today and how I got to today. Starting up, we open gap down. And you can see here that we have a clear manta ray pattern here, or if you want to call it a head and shoulders with double shoulders, whatever you want to call it. I call it the manta ray pattern right here. This is the neckline, this line right here. Um, Sign of a reversal down, and we did get that. So when we opened up today, I could see that we're still in a 4-hour chart uptrend. We were in an hourly chart downtrend, a 15-minute chart downtrend. We were gapped down into a previous gap. Another major thing was that we were gapped down to the 200-day moving average. Also, we were sitting at previous highs and the original top before the second leg down from the tariffs. So when there's a gap down, I always look at charts in pre-market. I post my thoughts on Facebook, Discord, other places about what I see possibly happening for that day. And if those paths turn out happening, then that's the trades I take. So with this gap down, I was basically seeing two possibilities. First possibility would have been a gap and go. For the gap and go, I'm generally looking for price to look above and fail, drop back down, and create a lower high below the overnight low. And I would have been looking for this gap to fill. So if that would have happened, I would have taken a short to fill the old gap. And then once that gap was filled, the base case I'm always looking for would be for a gap fill reversal. So I would start looking for a reversal pattern if that were to happen, whether that be a double bottom, whether that be an inverse head and shoulders, whether that be a look below and fail, something that goes like that. That would be what I'd be looking for. But given that we were at the 200-day moving average near the top of this gap, the other major possibility I was looking for was for price to get back above this previous gap, make a higher low, and close this gap. Once that gap's closed, I am always looking for a gap fill reversal, whether that be a double top, whether that be a look above and fail, whether that be a head and shoulders. I'm looking for a gap fill, then reversal back to the opening print. I was hypothesizing we were going to open right around this line here. All right. So price opened up. We'll just play out how that turned out. You see, we already have a higher low above the area. And so took a long position here. Stop loss right down there for the gap close. Not the greatest risk to reward there, but it's what I did. Took quite a while for this gap to fill today, but as you can see, it did fill. Then I waited for a reversal pattern, which I did end up seeing on a smaller time frame chart. What I thought might be like another manta ray pattern. You can kind of see it here. You have a shoulder, head, and then a whole bunch of shoulders. It never really got back down to the opening print, which was way down here though. Regardless, got a little trade here, and with that put, I closed it right at open. Did pretty well there, and basically ended up breaking even on the week. Going forward, let's see if we can come up with some theories just off the price action. I may make another video later that's more detailed. But for this Friday, we'll see if we can come up with some theories about what could happen when we open up on Tuesday, because the market is closed Monday for Memorial Day. Just fix my lines here a little bit. All right, so we have that manta ray pattern. This is a neckline. We can see that today we basically tested that, and we're starting to make a higher low. So I see a couple possibilities coming up just based off that. The first would be we come down, make a double bottom, head back up. Second would be come down, get below the low a day, fill this gap, then we're looking for a reversal back up for a higher low on the daily chart. And third possibility would be that this gap down today was our higher low, and we are just looking to head back on up for a higher low on the daily chart. At some point before Tuesday, we will dig into other charts, QQQ, Mag 7s, rates, sectors, small caps, and get a better picture of what we might be able to see going forward. One other thing I'll just quickly go over with you about what I'm looking for when it comes to a typical gap fill. Typically, what I'm looking for is a test and failure of the overnight low, and then price to get back above the opening print for a gap close. That didn't happen today. It happened a little differently. We just got a higher low above this gap, and I went for it. But typically what I'm looking for is for price to test and fail the overnight low, get back above the opening print, and then if risk reward makes sense, taking a long to close the gap, then looking for a reversal pattern back down. That would be my typical gap rules that I use. That's it. I will see y'all at some point before market open Tuesday.